So hi. If you're new here, my name is Bianca. I am a girl living in Los Angeles who has not posted on YouTube in 2 months because I just got so tired. And not from YouTube, I just got tired of life. Like, if you're also in your mid-20s, you do, like, hopefully you resonate with what I'm about to say, which is that this is the hardest thing that I've ever done in my life, is to be a woman in her mid-20s. And nobody talks about this, okay? I'm not gonna go into the what's and the whys, but I'm just like, bro, I'm out here and I'm strong, but I am tired. I'm thinking that this vlog can be a little reset vlog because my life has been kind of messy for the past 2 months, and in the best way. Just processing, grieving, living, you know? But yeah, I think in this new, let's call it a new era of Mid-20s Diaries, I got so much healing this year that I feel like a open-hearted butterfly. I am ready to share everything. We're gonna talk about dating. I have a date tonight. We're gonna talk about new friends. We're gonna talk about female problems. The goal of the Mid-20s Diaries is to make every other woman in her mid-20s feel less alone, because I am with you. Getting ready for a date. This is my first date with this guy. We met on a dating app originally, and then one of us stopped responding. I'm not gonna say who. And we ran into each other in person, and it was cool. He hit me up and was like, we should go out, blah blah. We're gonna go see a movie outdoors at the Hollywood Cemetery, which in LA is like this. It sounds so weird. It's basically a cemetery that like holds concerts and movies and stuff, but it's not just any cemetery. There's like some famous people buried there. Like my friend Jamie went last weekend and she was like, I saw Toto, and I was like, who's Toto? She's like, the dog from The Wizard of Oz. I am proud of myself because this summer I've been changing the type of men that I'm dating. But right now, I feel a little bit cursed. I feel like the men who I like really like and are into are just never available in any kind of way. They're either busy with work, they're either emotionally unavailable, they're either out of town traveling a lot. Men who are really focused on their career, they're super creative, which also means borderline crazy, and yeah, it just sucks. So I'm on a journey. I'm like, does it even exist, what I'm looking for? But I can say that it exists in me as a woman, so it's gotta be out there, you know what I mean? By the way, something that I should mention is that there's a literal hurricane coming to Los Angeles. And I just got home from the grocery store, which was nuts, because the storm is supposed to roll in like tomorrow morning-ish. Oh god, I think the date is here. Okay. The storm is supposed to roll in tomorrow, and so everybody's just kind of freaking out. I don't like to be prepared for anything. Like, I was so stressed. I called my mom. I'm like, what do I buy? And she's like, things you don't need to warm up. Or you could buy like an electricity thing. I'm like, Mom, the storm is coming tomorrow. She's like, do you want to come home? And I'm like, Mom, the storm is coming tomorrow. And again, here I am, a single woman alone dealing with a hurricane on my own. Like, I just can't. But anyway, I gotta go because I do think the guy is here, and I'm going to wear this little shirt jacket over, and yeah, wish me luck. Bye. Remember when I used to complain about the rain, but because it's summer now and because it's so sunny every single day, having rain is kind of like a little special treat, you know? But anything in excess is too much. I'm gonna make a little English breakfast latte while I talk to you guys about last night's date. But before I do that, I was at a restaurant the other day and the waiter, he was talking about the menu and my friend had asked him what his faves were and he was like, well, I'm a seasonal eater, so I like this, this, and this in the summer. And I was like, why have I never used that word before? Like, I too am a seasonal eater. Like, the fact that it's rainy today and I'm like, okay, English breakfast latte, when no other day over the summer would I drink this. It's just because it's kind of cozy. But that is how I am, to the point where it's like a little borderline OCD. It's like, I can't eat that, it's not cold, or I can't eat that, it's not hot outside. That's just the way I is. Okay, so last night's date was really interesting because I knew that I wasn't going to enjoy it. Like, I went into the date knowing that like something about this is gonna be off. I went because maybe my intuition is wrong. And I'm in a place in my life where I feel like I am learning how to trust my intuition. Women, we are super intuitive, and I feel like my intuition has led me astray as many times as it's also been like a protector to me. So I'm just kind of like testing the waters, you know? Editing Bianca here. I did not answer the question. Not that anybody asked, but I did not answer how the date really was. I kind of danced around it because at the time I just was feeling awkward about, will this guy see this? Will he see it? Anyway, my point is, the date was bad. Like, let me just be honest, it was really bad. And it's nothing, honestly, that the guy did, because I think that he's an amazing seeming guy for a girl who like has no idea who she is. The issue is that like I'm too healed. I know too much about myself to like wind up with a guy who is kind of a chameleon and kind of was like saying and doing things that he thought I would be into, and like I can smell that behavior from a mile away, and I just was like, no. And I kind of felt that vibe when we originally messaged on social media. And that's what I mean about, like, learning to follow my intuition, was, like, I didn't want to turn the guy down just because I felt like, oh, it might be bad. But I think I knew that it would be. I should have just listened to my intuition. But also, even that is an experience and a journey within itself, you know? Anyway, moving on, back to the vlog. Basically, end of story. I don't think the guy would have added anything to my life. I actually think he would have stressed me out a little bit. And I just want to be with a partner who inspires me and is somebody that I feel confident next to and they feel confident next to me, and like no one's insecure and nobody's like making the other person feel uncomfortable or cringe, and and that's just how I want to do love moving forward. I want to do love in a really authentic way, and that is kind of frustrating because I'm realizing how rare it is to find that, but I fully believe I will find that, and I fully believe that for you too. We deserve that. We deserve it. I think a lie that I've kind of been believing is like, if I spend so much time like focus on myself and like healing and like trying to be more successful, like what, like are there even men who are doing the same thing? And I haven't met many, but I do have hope. I do have hope that they exist out there. I just got home from yoga and I just had an amazing experience and want to share with you. Well, it's nothing crazy, but I love my neighborhood so much. I feel like I've talked about that before, but something that is always lacking is just, you know, a lot of people of color. My yoga studio is also pretty white, and today I had a black teacher, and it was the most incredible class I've had in a very long time. Not just because she was also black, but because her like style and flavor that she brought to the class was different than any other teacher that I've had at my studio, and my studio is like home to me, so her being, you know, African American like brought an entire new feeling of home to me, which was really, really sweet. And it just brings me to the topic of taking up spaces in areas that are not necessarily diverse. The east side of Los Angeles where I live is pretty diverse. Like, it honestly is. It gets a lot of transplants, and a lot of the locals are Hispanic, so there's just a lot of people from all over, which is great. But I don't know, just in LA, I just feel like no matter where you are, the majority of people there are white, especially by the beach, and there's nothing wrong with white people, obviously. It's just, I think too much of one thing is not good. But anyway, it just brings me to this topic because recently I had this friggin' man in my DMs like straight up attacking me. One time I posted a picture with two of my white friends like at a wine bar, and he literally responded, "Where are your black friends?" And like, here's the thing that people don't seem to understand about me is that, like, yes, I'm very sweet and I'm kind, but also my mom is from Detroit and my dad is from New York. Like, don't mess with me. Like, people think that I'm just like la 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 la, like, oh, you hurt my feelings, and like, I am a very soft woman and I'm very grateful to be a soft woman. It just drove me crazy what this man said, because I was just like, out of all people to say this to, like, please go find some girl who's on the internet and like only hangs out with white people, or only hangs out with Asian people, or only hangs out with black people. Like, he was attacking me because I have friends from other races, and it was so odd. And it was just specifically annoying because if you follow me on Instagram, like on my story all the time, I'm like posting pictures of my friends, and I have a lot of black friends, I have a lot of Mexican friends, I have a lot of Asian friends. Like, just leave me alone, you know? So that's my rant. But the reason the yoga thing was really sweet to me was because it was a really nice reminder of like how important it is to take up space around races that are not your own. If you're like in a job where you feel like you're the only person of your ethnicity, like, truly, I think it is a really beautiful thing that we can take up space and be a little bit different. And I know it can be hard to like be in white spaces and not surrounded by people who look like you, but it is also such a gift when people who do look like you show up on occasion and can feel seen and heard and known, if that makes sense. Maybe this doesn't resonate with anyone, I don't know, but I am not just black because I surround myself with black people. You're not just Asian because you surround yourself with Asian people. Like, who you are is literally who you are, and you should always show up in every space being completely yourself, because people will always benefit from it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that I shared a little bit of me at the ceramic studio this morning and me at a coffee shop. I have grown so much in spending good time by myself. I don't know what happened really besides just like the exposure therapy. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know that I have like had really intense social anxiety, especially when I lived in New York City. And I can honestly say that like now it is healed. Unless somebody triggers me, unless I'm like specifically feeling really lonely, I love going outside by myself, and it's something that I feel super confident about, and I'm just grateful for that change. But yeah, anyway, I'm about to get lunch with my friend Dara, who's up in LA for the day, and then I'm just working.
Is it?
why? Because today I had an amazing day. A quite stimulating day because I ran into an ex at a coffee shop, and I have not told you guys this, but like this whole year I've been low-key heartbroken. Like even when I've talked to you guys about like trying to be single and wanting to be single and being very intentional about it, I haven't been like in a committed relationship this year, but I met a guy months ago that I literally fell in love with, and if I told you all of the whats and the who's and the hows, you guys would be like, oh my god, Bianca, like how are you okay? Because like I'm telling you, like soulmate vibes, you know, Christian vibes, like creative vibes, similar attraction level, could not have made it up better in my head. And it has been heartbreaking for the past 8 months. I've been like healing from a situationship that I didn't even know I was in, and it sucks. And anyway, I ran into that person today, and I'm just like, what the heck is life? What is it all about? Who is God? What is he doing this for? And if it's not God, then what is life, you know? So now I'm just sitting here eating my little beef scallion pancake roll. Seems to be working. As you guys maybe know, I'm in my wellness girly era. I mean, I've kind of always been in it, but lately I've been getting into a lot of coffee alternatives, adaptogenic and mushroom type things, not like mushrooms the drug, but more so mushrooms for the benefits. But this brand called Rasa sent me some samples, and I'm excited to try. But yeah, because I don't do caffeine very much, these are just the best. And I'm very grateful for finding out that there are brands that exist for people who don't do coffee and who do not respond well to coffee. I'm going to steal my roommate's mug because it's really cute. Speaking of mugs, I have ceramics class today, which I know I was already there yesterday, but today is my actual class where I'm with an actual teacher. I went to sleep last night so excited to do my class today because it just feels like the perfect day of the week to be doing it. And later, after ceramics, I'm going to a lake today with my friend Ariel, which I'm so excited. Oh, this smells really good. I'm very excited because I've found so many friends here that just like really, I don't know, like make me feel whole and understood as a person and the type of person that I am, just like spiritual and focused on healing, but then also very childlike and fun, and I'm just excited to be with Ariel today because she's one of those people that I'm just like, oh my god, I love you so much. Like we'll just sit and talk about how much we love each other, and it's just feminine and beautiful, and yeah. may or may not have gathered by now, I spend so much time alone these days, and I, on one hand, feel so grateful and happy about it because I know that for me is breakthrough, because I spent a very long time hating being by myself, hating feeling lonely, all of these things. But this summer I've really come to realize, like, okay, I have amazing friends, I have like everything that I need. Why do I feel lonely? And I think this summer just realized, like, it's me not being there for me. And I remember realizing that and how quickly everything changed, where it was like, oh yeah, like, okay, you've been wanting to start that ceramics class, Bianca, go do it. Like, what are you waiting for? Like, that's something that you want to do. Why aren't you doing it? Every time that I've been single in my life, it's been the most miserable thing, because I'm just like, but then, like, what do I do? And this past year has been a complete realization that, like, I am not alone. Like, one, I have God, 2, I have friends, 3, I have my family, 4, I have the things that I love and am passionate about. And, like, I don't know, even if you're just like a single individual, we have so much going on in our mind, so many desires, so many passions, so many needs and wants and interests. Like, yes, loneliness is a very real thing, but I haven't felt lonely since I started like leaning into more hobbies, whether it's dance classes, ceramics, like walking the dog, listening to podcasts, listening to Lauryn Hill, getting into Maya Angelou, reading Elizabeth Gilbert. Like, I'm suddenly just like, oh, I'm not lonely. And I'm curious to know how this will affect my dating life moving forward, because I'm starting to understand people who have really high standards and people who like can realize immediately when they are on a date with someone, like, yeah, we're either compatible or we're not compatible. And I've always hated in the past when people have been like, fall in love with yourself first, you know? Like, you will never be able to love someone else if you're not in love with yourself first. And I can honestly say first-handedly, like, that's very true. And I love myself so much now. I feel like when I'm around a man who does not have like not even similar, but he doesn't have like his own hobbies or tastes or passions, I'm just looking at him like, crickets. I'm rolling this tennis ball, that's why I'm like moving like that. I'm just out here like literally just waiting. Like, I'm like, okay, God, I've done the work. I'm ready for Mr. Right. And guess what? Closed door, closed door, closed door, closed door, closed door, closed door. All this to say though, like, if you are lonely, if you are just looking around at your life and you're like, I don't have friends that I actually like these are people that I'm just around because I feel like I'm supposed to have friends, guarantee you, like, go take a class that you've been dying to try. Like, there is a reason that you've been wanting to try it. Go learn it. Skateboarding, rollerblading, dance classes, hip-hop, ceramics, tap dancing, pole dancing, like, whatever it is. I truly think that will attract so many people to you who are like, oh yeah, I like that energy. But yeah, that's my life. I have a shoot tomorrow. I have to wake up really early, so I'm just having a slow night. See you next week.